Welcome to another episode of Done is Better Than Perfect. I'm your host, John Grubbs. Welcome to the show. Now, before we get into our topic, today the headlines are actually the news. So I've got 8 of my favorite headlines to share with you, and, well, I'll just let them speak for themselves. Number 1, this is a real headline. Forecasters call for weather on Monday. Cows lose their jobs as milk prices drop. These are actual headlines. Number 3, miracle cure kills 5th patient. Number 4, man accused of killing lawyer receives new attorney. Number 5, breathing oxygen linked to staying alive. Number 6, police arrest everyone on February 22nd. Number 7, Thursday is canceled. And my overall favorite, number 8, state population to double by 2040. Babies to blame. All right, for our topic, how to stop babying millennials. Now, this is especially going to be pertaining to work. How do we stop babying millennials at work? And if you really think about the situation that we have in the workplace, does anyone else think the world is getting too soft? That things are being made just a little too easy? I mean, just watch pro football. We're slowly removing the contact from a contact sport. Stay with me until the end. You do not want to miss this show. So, no size, no speed, and no talent. That sums up my high school football career. Yet, my high school football coach saw something in me that no one else had seen. From the beginning, he worked me over both verbally and physically. Many would have given up or quit, but he suspected that extra stress might result in more output from me. He determined that my fear of failing was greater than anything he could do to me. And as a result, I earned a starting position. His extra pressure on me never relented, and I ended up finishing high school football undersized and probably over-recognized. Now, the lesson I took from that experience for life is far greater than just athletics. And I want you to think about that story as I take you through this discussion about millennials. So you might be asking, what does this have to do with millennials? Well, some people claim that millennials are weak and that they cannot sustain the rigors of strong coaches or worse, strict bosses. Many believe they cannot handle tough love. Well, modern leadership methods even suggest a soft approach to lead this generation. Some suggest we should decrease accountability. Some suggest we should accept substandard performance as a generational reality. Well, you know what I say? Hogwash. My research suggests the opposite. The best of this generation responds to the same stimulus as generations of the past. Past generations were more likely to give and validate trust. Millennials, on the other hand, are a little bit more skeptical about positions of authority. They don't just give trust as easily as generations of the past. And if we're going to earn their trust, then we must sustain it as an ongoing measure of leadership. Because if they're going to tolerate a tough boss, that boss must be trusted and respected. And during my interview with millennials, I found out that, you know what, they really want to respect and admire those they work for. And they want a boss that will challenge them. They want a boss that will push them, that will make them better. So what does all this mean? What do they desire? Well, millennials desire acceptance into something exclusive, and they're willing to work very hard and even endure difficulty to become part of an exclusive team. And if we're going to create this exclusivity, we must do it through high expectations and achievement. If anyone can belong, what's the point? It's just a job. And if you have high expectations, you understand that the millennials are, well, they're very well read and they're very impatient. They're not going to pay dues for very long. They're not going to focus or worry about climbing ladders. And here's the big thing. If you suck at being a boss, they will leave. They are a filter that will eliminate managers that do not impress or earn their trust. And winning organizations create admiration and develop a team that performs through mutual respect. So let me say that again. Winning organizations create admiration from millennials, and they develop a team that performs through mutual respect. You know, the funny thing about respect is you don't just demand respect. The only way to get respect is to give it. You have to be respectful in order to be respected. So the bar for leadership is much, much higher than it has been in the past. And if you think that you can fake it until you make it, those days are gone. Managers that lack character and integrity are losing the best millennials. And here's the funny thing. You can indeed be tough with high expectations and even demand more if they trust and respect you. That's a big if. Now, if you're merely a vessel for a paycheck, you're going to lose the best of this generation. They will leave. You'll end up being stuck with the worst of this young generation. So let's summarize. Stop feeling like you need to baby millennials. Stop babying millennials. They can handle strong leadership if and only if they trust and respect you. And today's managers and supervisors must work to earn this trust and respect. And folks, there are skills that can be developed. There are effective tools that they can learn and actually use once they try to improve as a leader. It is that difficult transition between being what I call, well, a transactional manager to becoming a true leader. And if you think you can kick the can on this, folks, if you think you can keep doing the same, if you think you can avoid change, stop and think about this. By the year 2025, that's just 5 more years, most of the workforce will be millennial and Generation Zers. Can you imagine that? Most of our workforce will be millennial and Generation Zers. So here's something that I want you to think about. I challenge you in 2020. Teach your leadership team to be firm. Teach them to hold people accountable. Teach them to have high expectations. If you are trusted and respected, the best will stay and the worst will leave. If you enjoyed this show, make a comment. Slam the little bell so that you'll get notified every time I share a new show. Share this on all your social media. Together, we can make the world a little tougher, one show at a time. Always remember that done is better than perfect. I'll see you next time.